Welcome to Coffee Cocktails. More importantly, welcome to the 100 subscriber special, and more importantly, welcome to California Extreme. Pardon me, an arcade game and pinball convention in the Bay Area that I am currently in. There's about 1,000 arcade games and pinball games and people here, and we're gonna check some stuff out. I have no plan, so hopefully we'll bump into some cool video games and people. Let's get started. Let's see here, we got pinball games based on Johnny Mnemonic, Arabian Nights, the awful N64 game, Monopoly, Demolition Man, Star Trek, Pinbot, that's an actual famous one. Oh, and Bride of Pinbot, of course. And the other 80s property, Family Guy. Oh my God, they have it, the Twilight Zone. That wasn't on the list. This is my pinball holy grail. Every time I've seen this machine, it's been out of order. Let's play it. So one time, I decided to go in Blender and make a pinball machine from scratch. I had no experience at the time making or playing pinball machines, but I just decided to. Did a lot of research and made one that was based on the Twilight Zone after a lot of research. And it was fun, and I didn't get close to finishing it. It was too much, just too wacky, no real cohesion. So I instead made one based on Bally's Fathom. And that one's here, we're gonna play that one next. So I based it off of the video game Star Tropics 2. Star Tropics also, not the second one, Zoda's Revenge. That one's worse than the original. But yeah, we're gonna finally, for the first time in my life, play both those games years after building the machine. So let's see how these go. Now, one thing I've always appreciated is games that get clever with their limitations. This is clearly a black and white CRT screen, but it's projected onto a colored, not just a colored background, but a full-on colored mirror. I've actually never heard of Midway's Boot Hill before, but I do like this. Let's go ahead and play. May the better cowboy win. Oh, it's a two-player game. I think I hit the two-player button. Oh, and these poor cowboys have inverted y-axes. Sometimes that happens, especially in the Old West when they didn't have vaccines against y-axis inversion. I have completely beefed to this. Better than that, Super Speedway, which is another one I've never heard of before, has a projection circle. I would guess it's just an acetate disc with color printed on it to make this wonderful round playfield here. Oh, and it's just a projection of the stick. Okay, and it's got a big kicker in it when you run over another car. Pinball machines used to have that, just well, and still do in some cases, have a solenoid that just hits the side of the machine to make a real loud thump. I saw some people selling them here. And yeah, all this is a, oh, you have to stop your car after an accident. Like in NASCAR when they just smash up each other. This is very clever, but I'm going to stop playing. Now we're at the Hall of Rhythm Games. I played so much Stepmania as a kid, but that was literally 2/3 a lifetime away, I realized recently, and that hurts. That hurts to know, but let's see if I can capture some of that glory with games I've never played before. Man, the rhythm game technology has improved since, oh, I don't even want to say the year. That about wraps it up. I think I'm gonna go home and take a nap for an entire day. Maybe two. This is the Williams Joust two-player competitive pinball table, which I've absolutely never seen before. Based presumably by all the ostriches on their arcade Joust game. And wow, I have never seen a game quite like this before. I do like it, and it's cocktail style, which I really prefer. I had an idea to draft it a little bit for a pinball versus game, where I think the flippers should be on a linear rail system where you can move them left and right for a little bit more strategy. But yeah, this is quite good. So the depth of field does leave a little bit of a limit as to what you can do, and games like this are sometimes called two-player solitaire, where there's a limit to what you can do to actually affect the other player's score. But I'm going to play a game of this for sure. Okay, first off, apologize for my friend Guile over there telling me very loudly what his favorite entry in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise is. But we have a very interesting game that I'm about to play right here. Back when I was a kid and we got our secondhand NES, we had I believe it was the unlicensed 10-game copy of Marble Madness that came with it. But what we have here is actually the, I believe, unreleased Marble Madness 2, which only exists as a prototype unit. According to the sticker on this machine, it's on sale for $8,000. So it's yours if you have that and want it. And Jay and I played a ton of the original Marble Madness 1 for NES as kids, so never played with the trackball before. Cannot go very fast downhill, which is kind of surprising. What I do remember is if you drop the marble too far, you crack it. Wow, that was a weird selection. That didn't really, maybe this trackball's a little squishy, stuck. Okay, we're in the Astral Race, which, okay, I guess I gotta go in here. Ah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, these little guys. Rude. I shouldn't have tried a 90-degree turn there. I should have gone straight ahead. But I don't really know of a way to dodge that. I do know of a way to not do that. It's to be better. This is Billy Bowl, named after its inventor, William Bowl. And whoa, I have never seen this. Check this out. This is incredible. I'm going to queue up a game, and it is going to automatically set a game of 8-ball, which is like 9-ball when you only do 8. And then check over here to the right. We're going to get an automatic ball injection. All right, the goal is to just knock all the balls out. So the technique I've seen is really just smash it. So we're going to smash.
The mission ballroom in just a few minutes. You want to try your luck.
And like bowling, you get 2 shots per frame. So where am I going to get another ball from? If only... Oh, look at that. That's very cool. Now, how am I going to do this? That's the problem. I'm going to try something extremely stupid. I'm going to bank it. I did not bank it. Ooh, the Addams Family. This is the other pinball holy grail that I've tried to play many times and has been broken literally every single time. So this one appears to be working. Let's go ahead and give it a shot, finally. Why they made a Addams Family pinball game in the 90s before the movie? Nobody knows. Maybe Bally got the license cheap. My mom does love the Addams Family show and I guess song, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. Look, everyone, we are I see our poor friend up there is zip-tied. This guy right here, poor thing. Twilight Zone is actually a double-wide machine to fit all its weird nonsense like the gumball machine, the working clock, and the magnet zone. This one's a more standard size. You know, for when I eventually buy this and put it in my living room or whatever. I don't have room for that. I could tell you a lot about video game design and what is intentional versus just a happy accident, what is tested design. I don't know anything about that with pinball, despite having, again, literally made a pinball machine. The double outline here versus the single outline over here. I don't know if that's because they decided that some ejector in the back actually has a reason to make the game easier or harder by giving the player a little more leeway there. I can't tell you, which makes for terrible video content, sure, but this is fun. I don't think there's anything I could have done about that, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, that is very cute that the flippers clack in time to the music. This machine is called Teeter Torture. It has a really exciting interactive element. If you look slightly behind the screen, you can see there's a whole guy back there fixing it. Not many arcade games have that these days. Oh, no way, Dragon's Lair. I remember my dad telling me when we were watching Stranger Things that he played this game when it came out. And it's broken. Oh well, that's gonna happen sometimes. So we're gonna play Space Ace instead. It's basically a Don Bluth movie that someone decided to put quarters in. Again, thank goodness for a free play because this game was actually very, very quarter munching. Is this piracy? Is it piracy if I just show the splash screen? Well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but we'll stick with something else. I am nothing if not a man of contradictions. This is Hercules. And let's take a moment to step back a bit. It is a gigundous pinball machine that is not working. All right, bummer. I think I've heard of this. I certainly have never seen it. This is gigantic. So we won't play. We'll play Micro Boy. Micro Pin. Play this instead. Or maybe we won't. I don't know. How do I get this to work? Activate. Turn on, please. Is there a power switch in the back? Oh, there's some stuff back here. Losers pay? That's rude. Well, I guess the little boy and the big boy both are broken. Apt when you think about it. Now, I vaguely remember playing this one as a kid. With this one, you got these cool-looking laser guns, and you shoot these aliens who are trying to get boxes labeled energy. Because as we all know, access to equitable energy should be based on race, and we don't want them getting any. So we're going to queue up a one-player game here. Give me a credit, and there we are. We're going to do an easy game because I'm a fool. And this looks to be the same technology as duck hunt guns, but in reverse. The gun actually emits a light, and those seem to be photoreceptors right under the mouths of these little furry-looking weirdos. So they knock back a little bit once you hit the center with a super annoying noise. Yeah, the angle actually seems to make a fair difference. Getting the one closest to me takes a much more precise shot than the other ones. It's very neat though that I think the mechanism behind this is probably pretty simple, that getting the energy is just clicking a mechanism into place and pulling it back. And in fact, you'll see when the round comes back, they'll reset the energy boxes by just using the same motion system to push them back. so annoyed. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because I can't let these aliens have these small red boxes. Alright, this is the Terminator 2 Judgment Day pinball machine, and I have an extremely specific question for one person. Jay, do you remember 8 or 9 p.m., December 31st, 1999, playing this exact pinball game at Roxanne Stein's year 2000 New Year's Eve party? Go ahead and sound off in the comments below if you're literally the one person that would know that. Or I guess two if you're Roxanne Stein. Now, obviously, there's a lot of great games to play here, to say the very least, over 1,000 machines in total. But one of the things I found myself really interested in is people repairing or even building their own pinball machines and arcade machines. That's something I'm always fascinated with. So it was really great to see some hands-on, live action in the field repairs going on.
Just a loop of wire hanging down to grab the ball.
You said these machines live at your house, right? How much maintenance does a home pinball machine normally take, would you say? Like, are you doing this normally when it's just at your place, or is it only when you come to a convention like this?
I tested them out and it looked like they're superficially working, but
it's hard to tell what people can do.
That's right.
In video games, they say the only thing worse than a player is several players.
They were getting hammered yesterday all day long, so
yeah. Well,
it was going to happen. That's when it was going to happen.
As a casual pinball player, I can certainly tell you I really appreciate you bringing them out here. This is one of the best opportunities I've ever had to play any pinball at all.
It's a frantic sort of fun to come out here with.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thank you for sure.
Glad to.
What's going on with this guy now?
Yeah, I was telling you, because remember last night when there were balls being stuck down there?
Yes.
And that's the same. Bob, look out, I'm going to move the game up.
What do you think's the cause of that?
Probably something stuck in the channel. Yep.
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
in there again. You might remember this from last night.
Yep. Next up, we have Joel. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Joel, and I make pinball machines, and I used to make movies too.
Yeah, and we're here with two of Joel's machines, Boys Night Out and Doggy Tales, homemade full-size pinball machines. I am very impressed with that. So, when did the idea start for you to make pinball machines based on your movie?
From scratch.
From scratch. I don't want to undersell that. So when did the idea first start to that you should actually physically make this?
About 5 years ago is
Really?
when I started.
Yeah, and have you been building ever since then, or was there like an
No, it was
ideation
just an
phase?
It was an idea 5 years ago, and then a year or so after getting into pinball, I was like, maybe I'll buy some board set to build my own game and start from there. I'm drilling holes in plywood, putting backs in it that don't fit. It's hilarious. I love these. I have these old pictures of this piece of plywood I butchered. It looks like, someone came in with an axe almost and just chopped through the wood.
Hey, if it's on the backside or if it's before you put the sticker on, it's fine. So actually on that, it's called a whitewood when you have a plain undecorated pinball board that is used in like beta phases. So if you were
pre-whitewood, this would be like
before that even.
Yeah, this would be a negative whitewood. This would be like, I don't know if people call it a zero wood, but this is garbage. I'm just having flippers hit a ball, testing out what could be potential shots.
How many whitewoods or zero woods do you estimate you would have gone through?
I went through 5 versions of Boys Night Out in total, but I did put art and decals on them later on. Now it does have art. So.
I have to do more than 5 tries to cut a single piece of wood to the right length sometimes. That's actually really impressive. So the other question I want to ask is, how do you, in like the planning phase, how do you go about designing a pinball machine? Do you start with shots out the flippers? Do you start with like a central idea that you want to play with? Like, where's the design process on that start? Because I'm somewhat familiar with that for video games, but not for pinball.
So I had the idea was based on this movie I made. So I had these concepts or ideas that I wanted to take and use in the movie and then put on this pinball game.
Cool.
So it started with that. It's like, oh, I wanted a lady silhouette on there, and I wanted a horseshoe underneath her. And I thought that would be interesting to have that dynamic there.
And then you take those and convert them to pinball concepts. Like
Correct.
a horseshoe, I guess, could be like a kicker, or it could be just a drop target,
There's
or.
a pop bumper right there.
Hop-
The horseshoe actually
Okay, yeah,
wraps
yeah.
around her.
That's neat. So yeah. So then from there, is there any sort of map of how you lay things out or how you design it? Any pinball best practices, or you just got to try it and see what plays good?
Well, the lower third's like kind of standard. They call it I think the Italian bottom, where it's got two kickers and the flippers in and out lane. So that's kind of standard. I did keep that the same way. I ignored everything else other than that. Like I just said, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I want a machine that fights back. And, I wanted something fast and fun.
Both of them are very fast and very fun. I got to say that I'm impressed with both of these a lot. And I've played about 100 different machines here, so that's something to be proud of. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the 100 subscriber special at California Extreme. I truly don't know what I'm going to do with the 1,000 subscriber special if we ever get there, but thank you again. If you can ever make it out here, California Extreme is wonderful. California is wonderful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.